They say the land remembers. Every scream, every secret, every curse, buried just beneath the surface. And in a quiet Tennessee hollow more than 200 years ago, something woke up. It didn't knock politely. It whispered in the dark. It scratched through silence, and then it screamed. This is not just another ghost story. This is the tale of the Bell Witch, an unseen tormentor who didn't just haunt, she hunted. It began in the early 1800s, when John Bell moved his family to Red River, Tennessee, a frontier town trying to make its place in the wild. The Bell farm stretched across rich soil, their days full of hard work and quiet faith. But peace doesn't always last long in stories like these. At first, the disturbances were small, almost laughable. Scratching behind the walls, knocking that seemed to follow you room to room, rustling in the shadows where nothing should have been. The family blamed animals, the wind, maybe even their imagination. But then the noises grew louder, closer, and then the whispers started. At night, the children would hear a voice faint but clear. A woman's voice, sometimes murmuring prayers, other times mocking the family in a low, bitter tone. Then came the violence. Young Betsy Bell was especially targeted. Invisible hands slapped her. Her hair was pulled so hard it left her scalp raw. Bruises bloomed across her body without reason, and no one could protect her. Whatever was in the house, it was no longer hiding. It wanted attention, it wanted fear, and most of all, it wanted John Bell dead. Neighbors were called in, ministers prayed, but nothing worked. In fact, the entity seemed to grow stronger when challenged. It began speaking clearly, identifying itself as Kate, sometimes reverent, often cruel. It would quote scripture one moment, then laugh wickedly the next, answered questions it had no business knowing. It predicted events, and when guests visited the Bell home, Kate made sure they knew they weren't alone. Word spread fast, even in those days, and soon people from far and wide came to witness the unexplainable. One of them was none other than General Andrew Jackson, a war hero and future president. According to legend, the moment his entourage approached the Bell farm, their wagon wheels locked in place, as if held by invisible hands. Then the voice came, "You may proceed, General, but I'll see you tonight." No one slept peacefully that night, and by morning, Jackson left without a word. But amid all the terror, one question kept rising. Why John Bell? Why this man, this family? The answer never came. But in 1820, John Bell fell gravely ill. His body twisted by seizures, his voice stolen by unseen forces. And then he died. Some say he was poisoned, not by a human hand, but by the witch herself. A strange vial was found near his bed. When tested on the family cat, the animal died instantly. When they tossed the bottle into the fireplace, a pillar of blue flame shot up the chimney, and somewhere in the room, the witch laughed. At John Bell's funeral, as mourners prayed and wept, Kate's voice cut through the air one final time, singing hymns, mocking scripture, celebrating her victory. She had promised to kill him, and she did. Then, just as suddenly as she arrived, she began to vanish. The family reported fewer disturbances. The house grew quiet again. Kate, the Bell Witch, was gone. But before disappearing, she made one last promise. She said she'd return in 107 years, and in 1935, reports began to surface. Mysterious lights, strange voices, people disappearing near a cave close to where the old Bell home once stood. To this day, locals speak of the Bell Witch Cave, a place where batteries die, phones shut off, and shadows move, even when there's no wind. Skeptics have tried to explain it away. Mass hysteria, frontier superstition, folklore twisted by time. But even now, more than 2 centuries later, no one has truly solved the mystery. What was the Bell Witch? A spirit? A demon? A psychic imprint left by trauma? Or something else entirely? Maybe some stories don't want to be solved. Maybe some forces don't fade. They just wait. Wait for silence. Wait for darkness. Wait for you. If that sent a chill down your spine, you're not alone. Subscribe to Gleaming Mysteries and keep your light on. You never know who or what might be listening.